Hello and welcome to the Fit for Life podcast with your host, Alan Fitton. In this podcast, I will be covering fitness-related subjects and my experiences to do with nutrition, building muscle and weight loss to name a few, and how, above all, to keep fit for life. Right, so hello and welcome back to the Fit for Life podcast with your host, Alan Fitton. And I've got another guest today, Mr. Christian Verite, one of the guys who got me first into PTing and fitness. So it's quite a big thing to have him on the podcast with me today. So again, like the previous one, it's going to be a general chit chat about fitness, about his background, where he's come from himself, what got him into fitness, and a bit of an interview, a bit of a laugh, I hope along the way as well. So welcome, Christian.
Welcome, Alan. Thanks for having me.
So if you want to tell me a little bit about who you are and what you do currently.
Well, I'm a personal trainer. I've been a personal trainer for many, many years now. What am I now? Coming up to 41, and I got into personal training. Well, I got into the fitness industry when I was about 18. So I've been doing it for quite a long time. Obviously worked more as a fitness instructor back in them days. I don't know if them jobs exist anymore, but I was a fitness instructor in them days. And probably qualified. I worked in a family gym in Formby, and I worked there for about 2.5 years. And then I took the big step and worked on cruise ships. And that's when I first got into personal training. So I did that for a couple of years, came back to my hometown, Southport, and got a few training jobs. I think I've gone back into the YMCA for a little bit, and then I went to back into the Victoria, worked there, which is a leisure club in Southport. So I worked there as a fitness instructor, did a few classes. And then I went to London, which wasn't down to doing fitness, it was down to doing actually acting, because I was looking about getting into acting. It's always been a little passion of mine. So I went down to London, did a bit of acting, but I tended to do a lot of classes, especially a lot of spin classes. I was working in a gym in Bayswater, which is like Notting Hill area in London. Fitness instructing, but kind of teaching a lot of spin classes, body pump, circuit classes, that type of thing. Mm-hmm. And then from there, I came back to Southport, started working at which was a gym called DW. I don't know if there's any DWs left now, but they were a big chain gym at the time, and we had one in Southport. Worked there for a bit, and then kind of taught classes, spin classes again, and then kind of formed Verite Fitness, which is my personal training business. And then I partnered up with my wife because she's a beautician, and then we got our own place. I think it was in 2013, which is Verite Fitness and Beauty. And yeah, I've basically been working from there ever since, really.
Very good. Kind of went into my next question there as well. So what is your what's your clientele that you like to go for within your PT studio?
Well, I think it's probably evolved over time. When I got into personal training, I didn't really particularly target any particular niche of a clientele. I just kind of just got into it and just wanted to just work with people and just help people. I used to do a lot of time with clients. I used to do a lot of running with them. I was quite keen running back in the day, and then we did a bit of weights. But, mostly a bit of a mixture of everything, really, of doing cardiovascular type of exercises and doing weight training exercises. But now looking at probably more of a niche of what I go for, what I like to train is people that have never really done weights before. And that tends to be more of an older clientele.
Yeah.
They've not really done the weights before. From a female background, it could be I have more of an aerobic background when it comes to training. So they've never done the actual weight side of it. And the same for like a man that might be coming off of sports, playing football or rugby, and they've never actually done the weight, the strength and conditioning side of it all. So I kind of train a lot of that type of clientele. So majority of my clientele age could be over 35, all the way up to about 70. Obviously, I still get a few young ones. But yeah, it's not because I prefer to. I mean, I will train anyone that's interested and wants to change, wants to learn, and wants that help. I'm very, when it comes to clients, of getting them on a plan, making sure that they are they're following a plan, they're enjoying the plan, enjoying the fitness journey they are doing with myself, and they get results. I'm a very result-driven trainer. You probably know yourself with training. Obviously, you work with myself. You know the kind of setup I have.
Yeah,
you're going to get clients that will come in and are very result-driven, which is great. And I like to work with them people because I want to get them somewhere. But I also like the clients that you get that come and have been with me for many, many years. And for them, it's come, they lift a bit of weights, do a bit of exercising, have a chat with myself, and they become more like family over time.
Yeah.
And they enjoy that. That's part of their lifestyle.
Yeah.
And we still get results for them type of clients. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to a particular niche of clientele, I tend to train a little bit more older clientele, maybe with my age now as I'm getting a bit older. I think a lot of personal trainers, when they come in the industry, are quite young, but obviously I've matured and I've probably taken a bit more of an older clientele to a point where I was trying to focus a lot bit more on longevity type of training, because I do believe weight training, which I tend to do with most of my clients, is the number one goal for longevity through fitness. So that's what I've been kind of working with a lot of clients to get them to do, to maintain their strength, and then the importance of maintaining the muscle.
As you're getting older, obviously. Yeah.
Because obviously as they get older, they start losing it. So
yeah,
try and maintain it.
Yeah, good. So good. Obviously, you briefly went over obviously your past, where you've been, obviously where you came through the watch with PT and things. So talking like specifically in fitness and sport, what got the fire burning for you? What kind of lit the fire of want to become a PT and get into fitness and training?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been massively going to the gym. Talking about aerobics, when my mum used to go to aerobic classes in the late 80s and early 90s when I was a child, I used to come along to them classes. So I was kind of brought into a bit of a gym environment, and I quite liked it. And I did get involved in some of the aerobic classes. So from a young age, I've always been quite into it. And I think from when you're young as well, you're a little bit more conscious about your physique and yourself. And I've got stepbrothers and sisters now, but I was kind of brought up as a lonely child anyway. So I had a lot of time being stuck in the house sometimes, maybe not going out as much as I could do when I was younger.
Yeah.
But, but I was still always quite active. I was always an energetic child. So I think it's a mixture of the fact that I was always conscious about myself, but I was also into doing different sports. I mean, I've done everything: football, tennis, cricket at stages and that. But I think it was a bit of a mixture of being an active kid, but also from probably a younger age, I've always been quite conscious about my physique. Thinking back at it, I remember as soon as I could get a gym membership, especially back in them days, it was difficult to get a gym membership when you're younger. But as soon as I could get accepted for about the age of 14, 15, I was in a gym at that tender age, really.
Right. Correct. Did you reckon that was because your mum being so into aerobics and things, or what do you think triggered that for you?
Yeah, I think that triggered me with the gym life. I've always liked the gym life. I'm quite a social person. So back in them days, there were very much like social clubs. I think now they're just like gyms, most places. I don't think you get many leisure clubs. No. I think the only ones I know, obviously in the UK, is probably David Lloyd's gyms. They're more like the leisure clubs that you get. We don't tend to have them now. They just tend to be just go in gyms, cheap membership, go in, work out, get out kind of thing. So back in the day, I quite liked it from the social aspect of it all, and just enjoyed going to the gym because of that. But I think going from a younger age, going from more of a teenager, going upwards, I think a lot of the time I liked going to the gym was to make sure that I kept myself in decent shape to a degree, because I was conscious, because my dad had a bakery, and my family were very much in food, and I love my food. So I used to eat a lot, and if it wasn't for the fact that I was probably an active child and was conscious about my weight and going to the gym and that, I could have looked a lot different, let's put it that way.
Yeah, I can imagine having a bakery on the doorstep with your dad having that. I'm guessing it was pretty easy to reach a handful.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, croissants, chocolate croissants.
Yeah.
My dad used to make these pastries with like a full English in the pastry. That was usually my favorite, like bacon, eggs, beans, you name it, in this pastry.
Right.
Yeah.
Next level.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. So moving on to inspiration now. So this can be anything. Who or what is your biggest inspiration?
I think
this probably changes a little bit throughout the years, doesn't it? But
yeah, I don't think I had any particular inspiration. Probably if I was looking at inspiration, thinking back in the day, I used to love watching the Olympics, seeing these seeing people being really fit, athletic, strong, fast. And I've always kind of looked at that as how I would want to be.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of worked my kind of training to be athletic. I probably do more weights now than I've ever done when it comes to cardio. I don't do as much cardio as I used to do. I kind of control my weight with how I eat and how I live my lifestyle. I obviously don't drink alcohol. I've not drank for over 6 years. So that's a massive thing. I don't overeat, apart from weekends sometimes.
That's balance, though, isn't it?
Just getting that balance. Yeah. But, probably these days, if I was looking for an inspiration, because one of the passions I used to have really back in the day would be basketball. In the last year, just over a year now, I've got back into doing the basketball side. And going back to my childhood when we were in lockdown, excuse me, on Netflix, they had that Last Dance.
Oh, yeah.
And I just love that. I could watch it 3 times all the way through. I could watch it again and again and again. And if I was looking at any kind of inspiration in fitness or sport, obviously more sport, it's got to be someone like Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I just think his mentality, his fitness, the way he was, his drive and everything. I just, if I was looking for an inspiration in an individual, he'd definitely be the one.
Yeah.
But, you get your, I like anyone that does well in sports and fitness and that.
Yeah, I bought a Chicago Bulls vest when I think, how old was I? I think I was like 20, because I was a big Michael Jordan fan as well. I think he's an absolute legend, wasn't he? Just off the cuff here, thinking back to, obviously you mentioned about the Olympics, and when you were younger, you loved the Olympics. So if there's any particular sport within the Olympics, what was your number one out of all of them?
It's got to be the 100 or 200 meter sprint, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's the one I always look for, seeing the most.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all good, aren't they? But they're the ones I always kept my eye out for.
Yeah,
definitely. Cool. I mean, I've always been one for speed. So
yeah.
Extremely fast like that. It was definitely the one that got my attention.
Yeah. No, cool. So another in-depth question here. So passion. So what is your biggest passion in life? This can be fitness related, non-fitness related. You can answer for the two. It's
I don't know, the passion, to be fair. I think my passion for majority over the last decade or so is probably training people, my business, being a husband, being a father. That's my passion, to be good at all them things, and to be able to provide for my family by doing all that. Personal passions, like going back to just quickly talked, I love my basketball. I've really, really rekindled getting into that. I wish I could do more of that. But obviously with family life and work commitments, I'm very, very restricted.
Yeah.
But my main passions in life is my job. I'm very lucky. When I wake up, I never don't want to not go to work. Mm-hmm. I love what I do. I really mean that. Not just saying this on here. I really love going to work, having my own place and be able to train people. And like I say, a lot of people, clients have been with me for many years, and it's like family, and it's just fantastic. You're just helping your friends and your family out in a way of keeping them fit and healthy. And that's my greatest passion, really. And obviously from a personal level, being with my children and my wife and that. So
yeah, obviously you're an exceptional role model, obviously for your family and for your kids, and obviously having a job that you can do that you can enjoy is like a massive tick in the box, isn't it? Because you said not every day doesn't feel like a work day because it's something that you're truly passionate and something that you love, and you're getting to help people for a career, which is it's a massive green tick, isn't it?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Like I say, that's my life these days. Is literally work and family life, and the only little selfish pleasure I get is my little basketball on a Friday.
But it's good as well because it's cardiovascular movement that you enjoy doing. So
it's a good work. It's a good work, especially the lads I play with.
Yeah, a good laugh.
9 out of 10, I'm one of the oldest ones there.
Well, it's funny. I went to play badminton at the YM a few weeks ago, and I think one of the lads, because we were playing for a bit, and one of the lads said about the basketball that's on a Friday. I think that I was trying to get a few more guys down to it. But I'm surprised the YM still standing. It's doing all right, doesn't it? The gym's still up there and stuff.
It's a great place, that YM. I was saying, I just wish it was. I mean, the guys that are taking over it have done really well, but obviously there's kind of like renting the actual building and just keeping it all going. I just wished. I think it's so good. I think it's good for most towns, especially our town. It brings. There's a lot of things you can do there, but I don't think it's ever changed since the day I don't think it has. First started roller skating when I was like 13, 14, and like I said, I'm 41. It's very soon, so.
I think the first ever gym I went to that, and when we were playing badminton, we can see through the windows at the top, and it looked identical. It's exactly the same.
It's exactly the same. Nothing's changed there at all.
I know, but yeah. So a little bit more chill now. So foods. So I know this question, but obviously listeners don't. Are you a foodie? And your favorite food and drink? I know that you've got a inherited love for popcorn. From many a cinema date we've been on.
I'm quite good, mate. I can eat anything. I like all types of foods. When it comes to food choices, I like Italian. I like Thai. I like British food, like fish and chips. I'll eat anything really. I always look at food as food as pleasure. I'll always remember the day when my brother came in and I was cooking something, and he was looking at what I was cooking. He goes, "You just cook to live, just to eat," kind of thing. I said, "Well, yeah, that's how I look at food. You just need to get the foods for what it is. The essential part of it, your proteins, your good carbs, your healthy fats, and then at the weekend and the odd, like I say, 80% of the time you should eat well, and 20% of the time you should enjoy yourself. So I will eat pizza, I will eat popcorn, I will eat foods that are not particularly great for you. Like I love cheesecake and stuff like that.
Yeah. Other pleasures in life.
I think if you have that outlook on food, I think that's the best way to be. Don't restrict yourself completely. Just try and eat the way you should eat. All the good foods that you can eat, and then when it comes to letting your hair down and stuff, and having a pizza and that, do it. You know what I mean? And just get that right balance. So when it comes to food, I'll eat anything. Good, healthy, bad. Not much I will not eat. The only thing I don't like is celery. For some reason.
Really?
Raw celery.
Really water-based, isn't it, celery? And it's like cucumber as well, actually.
No. Just something about celery. It's got like a little bitter taste to it. I'll eat it. I could eat it, but it'd be something like I just say, "Nah, you're all right."
No. I've always been a bit. You've been. I mean, obviously, we worked together for many years, haven't we? And you've got that mindset that's very. When you're being strict and that, and Monday to Friday, you're on the diet. Your food prep and things every day. I'd smell them work and stuff. But when Monday to Friday, you can focus and you are strict. Monday to Friday, aren't you?
Yeah, of course you do. I mean, like I say, you've got to get. I mean, even at the weekends, I'm still pretty strict. I'm not strict. It's just I just make sure that I'm just eating the right foods, and then when I do eat bad, I will eat bad. Like I say to anyone really, if you can get in that mindset of like you eating to fuel your body, you can't fuel your body at McDonald's all the time.
No, you can't. No, quite right.
You're not going to be good, and that's not no kick to McDonald's because I'll eat McDonald's as well, but. You just can't. You can't eat processed fast foods all the time. It's going to reflect on your body. Without 100%.
That's very true. But it's empowering as well, though, because obviously you know how you feel being in a good body composition, being fit and healthy, and maintaining good body shape, and you know that you can control what comes in here, so you can stay in good shape, so that your mental health is in check, and that you're in a good place yourself.
Yeah.
Which
well,
is
that's it.
important.
When people go to me, it's all right for you the way you look. You know, because I've always been pretty lean. Throughout my 30s and even going in my 40s, I'm still staying fairly lean and that. And it's just because I understand my body. And I know what to eat, and I don't abuse my body. I don't go, if I know like we've got anything planned and we are going to have a bit of a pig out, say on a Saturday, we know we're going to go out for pizzas and whatever or something like that, I will probably restrict my calories that day to make sure I've got plenty of calories just to go over. I probably will overspill my calories. Through the week, I probably slightly under my calories that I need to, but I know at the weekend with family and going out with the girls, I'm not going to have time to prep my food. I'm going to just eat whatever over the weekend. But I'm constantly always mindful about what I put in my body.
That's good. It's good. So we're into a big one now. So struggle. So what has been the biggest struggle and challenge in your life? How did you combat this, and what did you learn? It's a big one, that one.
It's a big one, though, because probably this year has been the biggest struggle of my life. Obviously, off camera, we're talking about, financially, it's been a bit of a difficult because we've had the lockdown, which was very difficult. But prior to that, my business and Emma's business was doing really, really well. I mean, I think from my side, especially, I think we were at the peak of what we had achieved over the years at that particular moment. And I remember saying to a client, how's business? Business is fantastic. It can always get better, business, in any part. But I said, for what I was, I feel comfortable and happy. I'm really, really made up the way it's rolling. Yes, it could always be better, but at that time. So getting to that point, and I think maybe a month or two later, being told to shut for so long, was really, really, really difficult. Because I don't think I think most people that might be listening to this that has a business and had to go through what I had to go through and what many other people businesses had to go through. When you basically get told that your service is not required while we're going through a health pandemic, and the only way you're going to survive is by the money that you've basically paid into the system to get back, and then reopen again, thinking, right, we're back on the feet again, to get closed again, get reopened again, get closed again. And that took a lot of toll. It messed your business up, because part of this business, especially the amount of clientele we had at the time, consistency is the key. And once you start breaking that consistency, people lose interest or go off, people struggled. And from my business point of view, when we reopened, yes, we took a gamble. There was an opportunity to buy a complex for ourselves because we were coming in towards the end of our lease. So we had to make a decision to do that. I just found this year, it being really, really difficult, because all that kind of income that we were given, we've had to pay back in tax, which was very high. And the business is not the same anymore. Because of that, I've lost all my group training classes, which was a very backbone of the business. I've lost staff. And I think anyone else who listens to this who's got business, you try and find staff these days. Really, really hard. Really, really hard. You're not picking for many people. I've been lucky that I've had a few decent ones at time, but because of the circumstances my business has to be put through, it's been really, really difficult, because I haven't got the financial. Because anytime you employ someone, you're always making a financial loss at first. So from a business point of view, that's been really, really difficult. And I think on a personal level, why it's been really difficult for me is the fact is that I'm 40, I'm coming to 41. And I thought at 40, I would not be in a situation like this. So in a way, what I've learned this year is never take anything for granted. When things are going good, enjoy it, because it can soon change. It can soon change. And I probably think this year, from that from a business point of view and a personal point of view, because of, some stage this year, I was really low. I don't get low, me. I don't get down at all, but I was really down, like breaking down and getting upset and just in a bit of a real bad state in my head. Probably only lasted a week getting in that state, but I got in that state, and I think what it was, we went away to St. Ives, had a week off, and it was the first proper week off I've had through the pandemic, and I think it all just drawn on me.
I see.
And it just, because I've had to get back on it and hit it hard, I never really thought, oh God, I'm 40. I'm, what's happened? I'm struggling here. I feel like I'm starting again, and very much so this year. I've had to start again. So this year's definitely probably been my hardest ever year, personally and business wise, that I've ever had to deal with, really. So yeah, this year. Right. But you know what? On a positive note, things are getting better.
That's good. That's good. Better. I think it's easy to get trapped into a routine, and I think working a lot, and I think it obviously sounds like you took a break and brought your head above water, and obviously a lot hit home, didn't it?
Yeah.
But obviously, as long as you do take that break and you're able to reassess and re-scramble your thoughts in your head, and then you can refocus, and as you said, now you're getting more to a positive point now, which is good. So
yeah, I mean, that's like, you go through difficult times, and you just got to learn. You got to learn from it, and I definitely learn from it. I appreciate different things now. I'm not go massively into things, but you definitely appreciate the little things, and it's how important your family and everyone is around you.
Yeah, of course. There's those people there for you at those hard times, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. And you won't, like I say, you just don't take things for granted anymore.
No.
And it'll probably help me to build a more of a safety net, because you just never know.
No.
Could happen.
I understand. Right. So going a bit more upbeat now. So flipping the coin. So if you could be doing anything else right now as a career, anything, instead of what you're doing, what would it be and why? Is it being a professional basketball player? Is it?
It is. It would be. Would be. It absolutely would be. I absolutely love basketball. I don't know if I'm very good at it or not. Sometimes I think I'm not too bad at it, and then sometimes I think I'm absolutely shite out of it. But I absolutely love it, and I'm really gutted that I've only really started doing it properly. I played a little bit at school. And I always got told by Mr. Bland, you're actually good at this, but basketball wasn't a big thing really in school or in England altogether. Really, over the years, I think it's grown definitely, but it wasn't. The opportunity wasn't there. It was more to do with football. Again, I like football, but I wasn't that particularly great at football. But I absolutely love basketball. I really, really, really do. Yeah. So from a sporting career point of view, I'd love to. If I could have the time back. Don't get me wrong, I probably would never have made a career out of it. But
no.
If there was ever a possibility of having a go at it, I would have definitely looked at it. But I think this is the perfect career for me. I think it looked my career. I think about this all the time. Over the last year or so, I was thinking maybe it's time to jump out the fitness arena. To be fair, it's been that tough at times, but. Maybe have a change of direction, but there's loads of things I like. I love business. I love business stuff. Like podcasts. I love listening to the Patrick Ben-David podcast, PVD podcast, because I love all the. I kind of got into a bit of politics and business and how the world works and that. And I love to be able to set up businesses and run businesses and that. But unfortunately, at my time of life, I could not risk doing anything like that at this particular moment. But it might be something that might
in the
be
future.
The future. But from a dream point of view, be a basketball player. From a now point of view, maybe get involved in other types of businesses, if it could be in fitness or in anything really.
Yeah, sounds good. So now on to change. So looking at the fitness industry as a whole right now, and as it currently is, if you could change anything about the industry today, what would it be and why?
I think in the fitness industry today that I don't like, because I think fitness in all aspects of different genres and what people do is great. I think anything that makes you fit, healthy, builds confidence and all that is great. What I don't like in the fitness industry that I see, like we're talking about, obviously doing things like on social media and that, I hate the fact that it's so polygrammed at how people look.
Yeah.
I hate that. It's like now I'm trying to do content out there where I'm trying to educate people. And yeah, it gets a few likes and a few comments and stuff. Half the time when you're trying to educate people pick on little certain things that they don't like on the content, which we're talking about before. But I'm generally trying to tell people how to eat, what to do. I can put a picture of myself half naked after a good workout, looking all pumped with a six pack and that, and I'll get a shitload of likes.
Yeah.
When I actually talk about how to get there, there's no shit's interested.
No.
And like I said, going back to myself, I'm very result driven and I want to help people. And I think people in the industry now, and fair play to them, these fitness influencers, they look great in that, but the genetics on their side, that's what they do. That's how they promote their business. Half the time you're flicking through these pictures, all you're seeing is them training or them half naked in mirrors and giving
topless
motivational quotes and that.
Yeah.
That shit ain't gonna help. Or they're trying to sell an app or some sort. The only thing I love to change in this industry is about, like I always said, like I always say, is you as a trainer, why you're such a good trainer is because you care for people, you want to help people. And I want to see more of that as content going out on social media, because that seems to be the way to come across to people. I don't want to see all these gimmicky things that I keep seeing all the time.
Yeah.
So if I could change anything in the fitness industry, I would like to be one of them Zuckerbergs and that, and try and get the people that are actually making a difference in people's lives, get them more on the front hold, so people can follow these type of people, like individuals like yourself and other people out there that have the goodwill of helping people, rather than having all these half-naked bodies trying to inspire people that I don't think they're actually inspiring by doing some crazy routine. It's comical and that.
You've hit the nail on the head there. Thank you for the compliment as well.
That's all right.
But it's just for some reason people seem to think that someone that's in incredible shape gives them value means that they're an expert trainer. And there's that perception, isn't it? What you look visually isn't your worth. You don't know the education or the years they've had in the past or anything like that based on that individual and on how they look with the top off. That is irrelevant and it shouldn't matter. It's something I would never do on social media. I wouldn't start taking my top off doing workouts and stuff to get social engagement, because I think it's just wrong. I just don't think it's right, is it? And that isn't your worth, how you look. And as you said, the people that are looking that way, genetics, you don't know what other things they're doing, or the things they're taking to look that way. And 9 times out of these 10 people that are that lean and are in shape, you look deeper into these people's lives and they tend to have like an eating disorder themselves or an issue themselves, and that's the reason why they're in that shape in the first place. So it's all very well looking at these people thinking, oh, they're amazing, but they have their own issues. It's just not sustainable. It's just not realistic, is it?
I mean, I understand probably why they do it themselves, because maybe they have come from a bit of a background and they want to show inspiration. And to certain degrees, there is some inspiration. There is people out there that have got a story to tell.
Yeah.
That have been in bad shape or from a woman's point of view, being pregnant and had to deal with all the stretched skin and how the body recovers from that, postnatal pregnancy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But so there is some good ones out there that I understand, and they are an inspiration. But there's a lot of bad.
There's more bad that outweighs the good, isn't there?
There's a lot
at the moment.
A lot of guys on steroids, obviously trying to be say the natural and stuff, and giving false hope to people and that. They're the ones I'm kind of picking on really more than anything.
No, I am completely agree with that. I think it's a good point. So we're getting towards the end now. So obviously in today's questions, I use this as like a closing question, really. Is there anything that I didn't ask you today that you wished I'd have asked you in my very questions?
No, I think you've asked a lot of good questions there, to be fair. There's no question I'll ask that you haven't probably asked myself anyway, really. No,
super. I've covered everything then. Super.
You've covered it all, yeah. You've covered it all. I could think of something, but I'm just thinking of it. But no, you've covered it all, really.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, awesome. Well, that's a wrap then. So thank you for coming on and spending some time with us today, Christian. It's a privilege to have you on here. So obviously, if my listeners want to follow yourself on socials, and give you a follow, look at your podcast, if you want to shout out your social links and things. Yeah.
So I've got a Verite Fitness podcast. So currently at the moment, I'm going around fantastic trainers like Alan. Alan was one of our, I think you're my first guest on there, but I'm going around basically chatting to other personal trainers, asking about their background, not just personal trainers, everyone in the fitness industry, yoga instructors, physios, and basically dietitians. I'm trying to speak to a lot of people about their background and their methods and what they do. And that's the Verite Fitness podcast. And all social media, I'm on everything at the moment, which is at Verite Fitness. So anything on social media, you put at Verite Fitness, you'll find me.
Super duper. Fantastic. All right. So thank you again, Christian. That's a wrap, guys. So thank you for listening. And I'll catch you on the next podcast.